43-30 victory over the New Mexico Lobos. Coach, it was a great win and a pretty emotional night at the stadium.
Well, it certainly was. It's a great way to finish the season, and our seniors played so well last night, and then they retired Todd's jersey, and all in all, it was a fine evening for all of us.
A lot of offensive stars, a lot of guys to pick from, but one guy who stood out besides Todd Santo was Paul Hewitt, the running back. Paul has 1,000 yards on the season.
Yeah, he's been a great addition to our football team. Like I said on the show many times, he came to us in the fall, didn't have any spring football at all, and played very, very well for us. He led the nation maybe in scoring. Here's a great interception by Gerald Williams. Our defense has improved steadily the last month and played a great first half especially. So we had a good ball game both offensively and defensively.
Well, those were just a few of the highlights. We're going to have a lot more highlights, and we're going to meet our player guests. That and more coming up next.
These days, people talk a lot about truth in labeling. At Budweiser, we started our own truth in labeling program over 100 years ago. And what was true 100 years ago is still true today.
Back to the Denny Stolz Show. We have some great highlights to show you from last night's game. The Aztecs wasted absolutely no time scoring. We pick it up, their first possession, actually the first play of the ball game. After the Aztecs kicked off, New Mexico couldn't move the ball, so the Aztecs get it, and Todd Santo goes to work.
Well, Coach, we knew that they were going to blitz us, and they blitzed us on the very first play, and we come with a long touchdown pass to Monty Gilbreth, and it's 74 yards, and that's a great way to start the football game, and we don't end up until we get 52.
Now, quarterback Barry Garrison for New Mexico, he's going to scramble, and then you get also a big turnover here.
Well, our defense played awfully well in the first half, especially when we get a fumble here. Kenny Bernard recovers it for us and sets us up in good field goal position.
The Lobos were pretty easy to pass against, weren't they?
Yeah, they are, because they blitzed a lot, and Todd's awfully good at reading the blitz, and he hits Monty here on the right sideline for that little hitch pattern that we've been running all year. So we knew they were going to come after us. They really, really blitzed. They got a few sacks out of it, but we got an awful lot of yards. Here's Monty coming underneath and taking it all the way down to the 3-yard line again for us.
And that sets it up for Paul Hewitt.
Well, he scored so many touchdowns, it's hard to count, and here he goes in quite easily, and he may be the leading scorer in the country before this thing is over with, so we'll have to wait and see what the final stats are.
It was 14-0 Aztecs. Next two Lobo possessions end in turnovers, but here they go with Terrence Mathis.
And Brett Fairness makes a nice hit there, and we get a fumble, and we get great field position again. They're throwing out their end zone. Watch this interception by Maurice Hall, our freshman, and a great play. And that's a great place to get one on the 7-yard line. We had a penalty, and it backed us up. And for Tyler Atchison, too, Rick, has just kicked awfully well for us all year long, especially the last half of the season.
That made it 17-0 Garrison to John Duff on this play.
Well, they can throw the football, and we were worried about this. And this is a huge tight end, and he gets loose down along the sidelines, and they finally go in and score here. We were very, very worried about their offensive team, and we kept them under control pretty much.
That made it 17-7 San Diego State, but you let Todd go throw again.
Well, we're setting up here, and one of our guests, Troy Reed's blocking for him. A great play down along the sideline here by Robert Claiborne. Our offensive line, big old Stallions, gave Todd a lot of time, as usual, and when you give him time, he usually does pretty well.
And Paul Hewitt goes in again.
He knows how to score. Some people just have a great ability to score running back. They don't take very long. Here's Todd again, and what a wonderful player he is. Nice fake of a pass and hands off to Hewitt now, and Hewitt goes 18 yards. Next fall, we're going to put Booker and Hewitt in the backfield together, and that's really going to give us some punch.
It was 31-7 Aztecs.
Here comes Paul on the outside, little bounce play, and goes on into the end zone. He's a very, very good goal line player.
And now we're going to see some good defense.
Great hit here. Our man, Clarence Nunn, comes up, and he's going to Japan Bowl with us, made a great hit off the corner.
And now Garrison back to pass again.
Deflected, and Kenny Bernard's in the right spot at the right time, and I know the New Mexico people didn't think that was an interception, but it certainly was.
The Aztecs led it 31-7 at halftime. At this point, everyone had to be pretty up.
Oh, yeah, we had a nice halftime, one of the more pleasant halftimes we've had this year. We just want to make sure we continue to play well in the second half, and we're going to play a lot of players, and we did.
Now, the game sort of got closer in the second half.
Well, they came back, and, they're a good offensive team, and they made some plays against us, and we relaxed maybe just a little bit and had a couple unusual penalties in there against us, and then We pulled it out all right, though.
Here we go, second half highlights.
Here's a deflection. You see this play twice here. Troy catches this screen pass and gets a nice first down. You're going to see a little bit later that same deflection, and they intercept it. So Troy's going to be our guest here, and he can tell us about it. Here's a nice little hitch pass on the left side to Mike Broom, who's backup receiver, playing very well for us.
And here's a quick touchdown to D'Angelo Mitchell.
Well, it's a fade route. They blitzed everybody in the ballpark except that corner out there, and D'Angelo knew enough to run the fade, and Todd knew enough to throw it, and that's what we work on in practice, hour after hour.
38-7 Aztecs, and now they go to work.
Yeah, they start moving the ball. They drive in and score. It's a little screen pass on the left side here, and for 18 yards down along the sideline, and then they run it on in, and they're a good offensive football team. They just have a lot of trouble on defense.
Reggie Rogers with a touchdown there to make it 38-14 San Diego State. Now here comes one of Sanders' interceptions of the night.
Yeah, it deflected to the left here. You can see it. And the same play we just threw a little bit earlier, and the same man deflected. This time he caught it, and we should have blocked him and stopped him, and we didn't, and they got away with this one.
Leads to a touchdown. Garrison to John Duck.
They almost sacked him on this boot, and he gets the tight end in the end zone. And now this is getting just a little closer than we'd like right here.
They got the two-point conversion, 38-22 Aztecs. But here's a preview of next year.
Oh, I hope. Here's Patrick Rowe, the fastest player on our football team, a freshman, and look at this kickoff return, and what a sight for sore eyes. Patrick has been banged up all year, as Tommy Booker has been, and he got a nice return here, and we're going to pop this in the end zone.
That was a 70-yard return, and that led to the Paul Hewitt touchdown.
Yeah, we had just one play, and that's Paul on the goal line. Excuse me, he did a nice job there scoring again.
You go for the 2 points and get it. 46-22 Aztecs as we start the fourth quarter.
Well, they went for 2, so we thought we'd better, just in case this game gets to be a little bit out of hand later on, but it wasn't. But a nice play there to carry Reed Martin by Todd.
Here's a thrill for one of your seniors.
Yes, here. Gerald Williams playing. He broke his hand this year and didn't play very much, and made a nice interception and gets us out of trouble there on defense. A nice play for Gerald.
Last game of the year, give the freshman some playing time.
There's Tommy Booker coming back off an injury and gets 16 yards. He's a very, very fine player and a good runner there, and makes a super play, and he'll be playing a lot more next fall.
Now the Lobos for their last points of the game. It's Garrison to Mathis for a touchdown.
This is kind of a little bit of a screen and a little bit of a shovel pass. We weren't particularly ready for it. That's a real fine player, that Mathis kid. He's going to be all league, I believe.
It was 46-30, and now Sanchez to Mitchell.
Well, they blitzed again, the same thing they did on the goal line, only did it out in the field, and Mitchell happened to be in there again. He ran his fade route, and Todd hit him as he usually does. Here's Todd's last play as an Aztec, a touchdown pass to Reed Martin, and that's kind of a nice way for him to end his career, throwing a touchdown pass. It's kind of about the way he started it.
53-30 Aztecs. Here's the final play. Lamont Parks.
Lamont Parks, the backup tailback, gets a nice run down along the sideline here and almost gets a touchdown for us. And another example of some of the depth we have in our offensive football team.
So the final score, San Diego State 53 and New Mexico 30. Now that game ended the season. It also ended the collegiate career for 14 players. One of them joins us now.
They're about to retire the jersey of the 11,000-yard man. Todd, the time has come for you to give up the shirt right off your back. We're asking brothers, Ronnie and Robbie, to strip you down.
A lot of friends down here, a lot of friends on the ball club, and it meant a lot to me last night, my last ball game there as an Aztec, and hopefully I can come back and watch a few games.
For a lot of yards and gave Aztec fans a lot of thrills, and thank you for coming in, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
To officially present this jersey to Dr. Fred Miller. Number 8 will never be worn again in Aztec history. It's a place for all of us to see the great number that Todd Santo wore, and what a wonderful tribute, and what a great athlete to receive this honor.
Aztec fans, listen to the Budweiser Denny Stolz Report each Monday, Friday, and Saturday on 76 KFMB Radio, your Aztec station. You'll hear firsthand about last week's game and this week's opponent.